This is how I would invest $1,000 in crypto in 2025 as a beginner. Keep in mind, I am not a financial advisor, nor can I see the future. I'm just sharing how I would invest to make the most money with the best undervalued coins in the ultimate 2025 crypto portfolio. Click subscribe to Altcoin Daily if you're interested in making money in crypto, as we drop one video per day, keeping you informed. And my first $400 out of $1,000 I would put directly into Bitcoin.
If you don't hold Bitcoin, your prices are going up. If you denominate in Bitcoin, all prices are coming down, and they will forever.
I think buying Bitcoin under $100,000 will be a flex. Like your kids will ask you someday, Mom, Dad, how did you live through this crypto revolution and not get your piece of digital gold, digital real estate?
Buying a Bitcoin, whether it's one Bitcoin or a million Satoshis or 100,000 Satoshis or one Satoshi, is just like buying into New York City 250 years ago. Yeah, sure, you're late. People got there 100 years before you. In this case, someone got there 14 years before you.
And even if you see this video later and end up buying Bitcoin when it's over 100K.
People will buy it at 100,000. They will buy it at 1 million. They will probably buy it at 10 million, right? Because, how much does it cost for an apartment in Manhattan? People pay $10 million for 4,000 square feet.
And with the news today, now 19 United States are racing to become the first to buy Bitcoin. It is highly likely, and watch this 60-second video, because it is highly likely that the United States adopts a strategic Bitcoin reserve and starts actively buying Bitcoin in the next 12 to 18 months.
Why Bitcoin would make sense as part of our strategic reserves is that we recognize other long-term stores of value and put them in strategic reserve. We have a gold strategic reserve. We have an oil strategic reserve. I think it is fitting that Bitcoin, now that is really digital gold, be included among our reserve assets. So I'm proposing in the Bitcoin Act that we purchase roughly 200,000 Bitcoin a year just by converting money we already have into Bitcoin and hold them for 20 years. If we did that with, say, 5% of all the Bitcoin that will ever exist, which is roughly 1 million Bitcoin, we could cut our debt in half in 20 years.
So $400 into Bitcoin just to secure my piece of digital real estate. My next $100 will go into Ethereum, and watch today's entire video. Highly recommend you watch until the end, because the altcoins will get riskier and potentially more explosive. But there's one big reason that I'd put money into ETH, because the total stablecoin market is only growing bigger. Most stablecoins are built on ETH. Second would be Tron, and then Solana is quickly gaining. And the news today, and the signal, which most investors aren't seeing, is that stablecoin regulation from the United States is finally happening, and it's happening soon.
The other area is stablecoins, and Senator Haggerty, he's on the banking committee. He just released a stablecoin bill. There's counterparts in the House, and what the four chairmen indicated is actually they're going to take up stablecoins first, and then market structure will follow very quickly. So I think we could see a stablecoin bill pass Congress in the next several months.
So because we are safe with half of our portfolio, 400 and 100, we have $500 left, and we can get more speculative. By the way, if you're looking for a great place to buy most any of the coins on today's list, you want a platform with better liquidity that lists, often is first to list, some of the newest coins. I recommend exchange partner Bitunix. You can buy crypto pretty easily. Also, they route everything through third parties, which actually gives you, no matter which altcoin you're aiming to buy, the opportunity for the best value. I'd often just go with recommended and use code Altcoin Daily for up to $5,500 in trading bonuses. Link down below. So 500 down, 500 to go. I'd actually put my next $200 into Solana, or I will say Solana competitors. So my next $500, or half my portfolio, is all going to be fitting trends for this cycle, meaning RWA, real world assets, that's a trend, gaming's a trend. I think finding the next Solana will be a trend, but that being said, it's only because Solana is clearly a gem of this cycle, in my opinion. It has some of the best growth, the best activity on blockchains. And not only is every major meme coin launching on Solana, including Trump's, but also PayPal chose to launch their stablecoin on Solana, meaning not Sui, not Algorand, not even Cardano. They're choosing Solana. So don't get mad at me. This is what I see as the best product market fit of this cycle, of what the market's actually choosing, as explained by many notable project founders.
A year ago, I would have been indifferent between a leading Ethereum layer 2 and Solana. But after seeing all our startups launching on both ecosystems, it's just really clear at this point that you have to be on Solana.
So $200 allocation into Solana, and actually as I'm making this video, I'm sort of second guessing. Maybe I should have put a little less into Ethereum, a little bit more into Solana, but I digress. 200 into Solana, and with all these next portfolio allocations, I'm going to give you one high cap, one very established, but less explosive play, and then a much riskier, yet still fits the same trend, but much riskier and potentially more upside play if you're willing to take on that risk. So I'd go with Solana, or I'd try and find a coin that's really hitting the niche of the next Solana. I think Sui's a good coin to look at. I also think Supra, much newer, but also really fitting the potential next Solana narrative. If I called Supra the Solana killer, do you think that would be accurate?
We are very much early, but in terms of pure algorithmic performance, we just have better performance, frankly. Of course, we're not as hardened yet because they've been in mainnet for a long time, and we have quite a bit to go. But let's just suppose like apples to apples, algorithm to algorithm, and we're both at the maturity level of being in mainnet for some time and hardened. Solana should not perform as well as Supra. In fact, I say that in, let's say, a year from now, when we roll out the Solana virtual machine support, I actually believe Solana applications will outperform, or perform better rather, on Supra than on Solana itself.
Now my next $100, I think you gotta find a coin or two that fits the AI narrative. I think the blue chip AI altcoin for this cycle is BitTensor Tau. Chamath Palihapitiya is on record that Tau is an AI altcoin to watch, and one of his most trusted friends, who is now the crypto czar of the United States. This was before David Sachs became crypto czar, but he was listening to this alpha.
But the other version is much more distributed, and I'll say a dirty word here, but I think it matters. It's like this Web3 model does actually apply here, where there are some really interesting early adventures in crowdsourcing technical completion. I would encourage you to look at a project that I'm starting to focus a little bit on called BitTensor. And I was like, what is this thing? And it's basically a thing where you go and solve technical problems and produce features that people require, that need, and you get paid in this underlying currency.
So if you just want to focus on the more established play, that would be BitTensor, I believe. If you want something with much more risk, but also much more reward, that also fits AI, I'd look at Human's AI Heart. They're aiming to be the blockchain for AIs. And the news today is this: Heart just secured a major partnership with Saudia Group, the parent company of Saudia Airlines. This collaboration is set to bring cutting-edge AI to the aviation industry. So pay attention to the signals. My next $100 I'd try and fit in the top coins in the real-world asset trend. I think the blue chip RWA coin of this cycle is Ondo. They're actually integrated with BlackRock's Biddle Fund. And the news today is they did just launch their own Ondo chain, or announced the launch of. This is their new Layer 1 blockchain, which is purpose-built for institutional-grade RWAs. So Ondo's the blue chip RWA I'd put in my portfolio. And then the more risky play, with potentially more upside, is Propi, Pro Token, and that is essentially real estate on-chain, fully US licensed title and escrow service. And the news as of last month is this: Propi is launching a real estate loan product that allows crypto natives to put up Bitcoin and Ether as collateral, meaning you don't have to sell your Bitcoin or ETH to take profits if you want to borrow against. I'd put my next $100 into gaming altcoins, and while I think it is incredibly difficult to be able to choose the exact game that's going to make it. Like if I had to pick, I'd pick Off the Grid because this is already on PlayStation and Xbox and PC. But even I think the better play is to invest in the infrastructure, or in Superverse's case, invest in the community coin. Superverse is aiming to be that community coin no matter which specific altcoin, gaming altcoin makes it. They're integrating with all the best ones.
You can think of Super as the community coin of gaming, as the currency of gaming, the coin that is in every single game, regardless of whatever chain it's on, regardless of whatever stack it's using. This is how the community flows between all of the games. And it's effectively the gaming cult. And that's why if you go on the timeline, you'll see people going crazy, showing their love for Super, because in my opinion, it's the most fun way to get involved in all of the gaming projects. And it's a good first stop. And I believe it will be the first stop for most people as they come into crypto gaming.
And then if you want to go super risky, yet still is investing in the infrastructure, I'd look at Xborg. I'm an ambassador for Xborg. And they're the player identity protocol, meaning they're giving gamers ownership of their identity. They're already partnered with top esports teams that are already established. So we're seeing the adoption. And in terms of their growth, here's the growth of Xborg as explained by their founder.
XBG is actually the most performing gaming token of the year 2024, and we're very proud of this. We also saw amazing growth from August onwards to now, starting from just 3,000 holders to now, well, at the time of watching might be different, but at the time of recording, about 23,000 holders, which on a monthly basis is equivalent to 25% growth month over month, which is very good.
And with my final $100, 10% of my portfolio, that's when I can afford to go to the super, super high risk, potentially high reward plays. Meme coins are a great example, but actually two things first. Number one, comment down below which altcoin out of all the categories we've already named, which other altcoin you believe should be on this list. Let's pool the community. But with my final $100, I'm actually going to make an entire separate video how I would invest $1,000 just in high risk coins. So click subscribe. That video is coming in the coming weeks. And like always, see you tomorrow.